Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Sterling, all in caps. Good morning, Patrick, and happy Friday to you. Thank you for putting in the data. We had building permits, housing starts, etc. Sterling put all that in the chat for us. Thank you so much. Uh, what's this from Redfin? Roughly 40,000 home purchases were called off in December, equal to 16% of homes that went on a contract. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting right there. Pull Fed to hold Fed. Geez. Hold Fed's funds rates at 4.25 to 4.5 on January. Yep, that's pretty much. Did anybody see Waller yesterday? I don't know what data that guy's looking at. I don't know what data. He's like, it's pretty close to our target. He could still see 3 to 4 more cuts this year. Well, boy, the the Fed watch does not see that. It sees one cut. Maybe one of these will change to 2 cuts. I don't see anybody seeing 3 to 4 besides him. I think he's looking at some different data. Little dovish there. Where are we looking at? Good morning, Mark. Thank you for putting in the earnings. Schlumberger beat today. Good morning, John. Good morning, Jacob. Fastenal was a miss. A miss. So what else do we have? State Street, Bank, beat. There we go. I'm having trouble clicking this morning. We don't need to go through that. Morning, Ted. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, McRangers. Good morning, everybody hiding in the background. I'm glad you're all here. What happened at 8 this morning? I don't know. No, there was not. In what time zone? You have to put a time zone in. Are you talking East Coast? What happened at 8? There wasn't anything that came out unless somebody said something, but I must have missed it. Good morning, Heinrich. Thoughts on the new? I think the new Treasury Secretary is going to be way better than Yellen. Smart guy. Think he's going to be. I agree with that pick. I think that's going to be good. So that's where we sit there. Let's just take a look at what else is going on. We'll wait for more people to come in. Again, we had building permits, housing starts, some like a little better than expected, but down from prior. This is a bounce from prior. Nothing that's really going to move the market, though, or did move the market. Again, today is a very quiet day. So I don't know what rolled across at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Been locked in on the MES harmonics and the tick channels this week with great results. Great. Glad you have glad it's working for you, Eric. Good morning, Daniel. So I'm just glad it's Friday. What else do we have? There's not much going on today. Now, Monday, remember, NYSE is closed. New York Stock Exchange, Martin Luther King Day and its inauguration day, Monday the 20th. So I am not, unless something really happens Sunday night with the futures, I'm not going to be here. The futures are closing early. They're halting at noon Central Time, so 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Energy 1:30. So they open Sunday night at the regular time, but then they're closing early. Unless something major happens, I'm not going to be here. So you can look to see if I'm going to be here. I'll put in the preview thing on YouTube a little early. And so just check that out. But if you don't see it, then it means I'm taking the day off. I got a lot going on. I'm moving again. There's going to be, by the way, probably a couple days in February, there will be no live streams because I am moving again. So I will keep you posted on that. In terms of this is buy all the mega caps and all the chips and all technology is getting bought this morning. It's a technology buy everything day. And you see there's technology and comm services and consumer cyclical. It's definitely a risk on type of day. CME only has one cut priced in still in June. Fear and greed, we're still in fear mode. And the breadth improving, bouncing just a bit, and stock price, but not much. So this bounce is not still super widespread. Market's still expensive, 37.72. Sterling put in the earnings. Again, there's nothing that's really market moving. So what am I keeping an eye on? Well, this could be a one-day pausing bar. Now, the only thing that could turn me bearish today, and this might be off the table by the time we get the open. If we pass 60.3150, the potential double top is off the table. So the only thing that could turn me bearish if we turned around before hitting 60.3150, before we turn around and close back below 59.6175. Other than that, my key target is 60.40. Minor is 60.3150. Key is 60.4375 on a continued rally. And then above there, we're looking roughly right around 60.50. So those are the targets I am looking at to the upside. This is a one-day pausing bar, and we've already broken the high. So on any pullback, the first level I'm looking at is 60.1750 for that to hold. Okay? That is going to be key on any pullback for me, since it's a one-day pausing bar. We had the big rally on Wednesday, little pause yesterday, and now we're taking out the high from yesterday. And remember, cycles are still going up on the daily and on the weekly. So, no, I'm not flipping houses. Now I'm just moving out of this rental into a home. Thank you, Richard. So there's, again, it could be a couple days in. I'm staying in Arizona. I'm also moving out of Scottsdale. Key areas for NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ, you still have a little potential double top. That also might be invalidated soon. Let me do this first. The invalidation point would be on a trade above 21,666. Oh boy, we're doomed. We're doomed. So the only thing that would make me bearish would be a reversal, unless I get a mini bearish pattern. But again, we're going to take out the one-day pausing bar high. So the only thing that would take me bearish into next week would be a close below 21,172. Again, if we trade above 21,666 is off the table. Very key resistance is 21,690 to 21,700. And then we're looking at 21,776. Hey, Christoph, good morning. Found a place. Thanks. So it's a new build. We got a good deal on it because other people had to back out due to health reasons. It was already built to their specs, and the builder had to get rid of it. So, I mean, because I still think houses going to pull back substantially, but we couldn't keep renting with the doggies turning into issues, and I can't move every year. So my wife found a house that she really liked. So we went with it. So that's where that sits. Again, that we have a one-day pause. Keep an eye on any pullback into the open at yesterday's high, 21,567 area. The key target you see right up here. That's for me intraday, and then that's 21,776, which is a 62.5. The Dow also, we had the two tops from Wednesday and yesterday right around these 43,575 area. So I'm watching that. My target on the Dow, if those hold on any pullback in the open, is 43,818. 43,818. And then on a continued rally, the next key target area, the next minor target area, by the way, this is where I'll use the reverse harmonics. On the Dow, the next minor target would be roughly 44,000, and then we'd be at 44.1. I'm sorry, not at 44.1, we'd be at 44,280. The Russell, coming into very key resistance, I'm paying attention to about 21,314 to 21,317 is very key resistance. The VIX, still trying to break down below 16, trading right there now. If we start taking out yesterday's low, I'll really focus on a continued rally. at least through the open, through the European close. We've just taken out the potential double top is off the table. You see that right there. Oh boy, come on. See that? We took out the harmonic cluster, so that is off the table. So that is good. So the next key target on here is 21,070. So we have the DAX running. Notes, again, closing slightly above the rotation zone. So now I'm watching for the continued pullback, at least to the weekly rotation zone to reset everything, which is about 109.03. The yields dropping, you see here, dropping below, right at the rotation zone, but dropping below that now. So I'm watching for the pullback, and very key support is about this 4.52 area. Coming out of overbought with a divergence with cycles rolling over. So we could see a consolidation up here for yields with this pullback. The dollar index trying to rotate back up. Now, if it can get above yesterday's high, it's technically a percent B buy and a rotation zone high, rotation zone buy. Don't know if they can do that today, but going to be keeping an eye on that. What's interesting, I'll get back to crude in a second. The Bank of Japan is looking to hike rates next week. So hike again, and it's reset, coming back into very key support against the weekly rotation zone. Now, we have still cycles rolling over. So starting after a hike, I'll be watching for to see if there's any buy setups, but nothing yet. Now, I just wanted to mention that when I was talking about the dollar. With crude, watching for at least a pullback, see if this can get back to the daily rotation zone at 76.22 and then see how it reacts. Was there a fantastic short setup? No, there's not. But if it starts breaking below this about 77.40, the key support, the minor support is about 76.80, major support is 76.20. And the rising rotation zone is right around that 76.20. So that's my key target on any pullback. Gold, a little pause here. As long as we hold on a closing basis above about 2,700, everything's good to go. We closed above the 62.5. So this means I'm now watching on any pullbacks for rotations back up. And then an eventual break above the highs of 28.26. By the way, the next targets are, the next major target for me is about 2,900. Silver, not much to talk about yet. We still need to close above 31.76, which has not happened yet. Copper, watching for the pullback into the rotation zone to see how, if it can hold 433. There's not a ton of great setups today besides the equities are running. Euro, watching to see if this comes back down and forms. Remember, it did not close below the 62.5 yet, which is 101.88. So I'm watching to see if we get a little bigger pullback in the dollar. If we form a potential double bottom here. Overall, longer term, I'm still in bearish mode. I think this is going to hit parity longer term. We just need a breather. Spiders, key for this, 596. It looks like we're going to gap above 596.43. What invalidates the double top, which would have turned into a channeling double top corrective pattern, would be a close above 598.51. That what technically invalidates the double top. The next levels I'll be using on the upside is 664. If we follow through today with a close above 596.43. The Qs, the invalidation point for that one is 527.95. Today, I'm focused on 524.36 on a closing basis. On any rollover play, 519, roughly yesterday's opening price and the 50% harmonics key, right or just above 519. Bitcoin above the 62.5. So as long as that holds, I'm focused really on about again testing 105,970 area over the beginning of next week, which could be setting up a potential weekly double top, holding the weekly rotation zone. If it does break higher above the prior highs from December 16th, 115,800 is the target. We had it inspected. We had it inspected by a really good inspector. Found just a couple minor things. The builder already corrected it. So, and it's very well insulated. It agreed. Happy wife, happy house. She picked it. She wanted it, not me. But that's what counts. So, by the way, Tesla, little pause yesterday. Little pause yesterday after triggering the double bottom. But remember the targets if you're trading Tesla to the long side. 451. You got a gap left behind right there, but that's going to be key. It's already triggered, and this little pullback yesterday did nothing to invalidate it. Remember, I get comments to me personally. I get emails and stuff. Well, you said it double triggered and we didn't go straight to targets. They don't have to go straight to targets. It means the probabilities have shifted very strongly that we could retest these higher levels. So you still have to manage the trade, but it doesn't mean you can't have pauses. People just think it should go right there. NVIDIA, really, I mean, a gap up today, but we're getting more and more selling pressure in NVIDIA. When NVIDIA really breaks down, it's going to get interesting for the markets. Broadcom, still trying to hold up, not invalidated double yet. And this double is not triggered. If we get above 243.31, that's invalidated. Here's another one to really focus on. Apple. Look at Apple's bar yesterday. Now it's going to gap up again today, but look at this. That is negative. My still price target on Apple is this 200 simple. So on any rallies, I'm watching, unless we form a very strong bottoming pattern and can get back above this key resistance level of about 236, I'm watching for rollover plays. What did you found something interesting? Hold on, let me get to this. Still targeting a rollover? Yeah, if it goes above the 62.5, then I'm focusing on then a bounce to potentially retest the highs again. Found something is if you look at the chart compares the SPX and the Dow Jones Transportation Average on the weekly and monthly time frame, it appears when the two get significant divergences, the SPX moves towards the Dow Jones Transportation. Yeah, and if you study Dow theory, that's where it holds up. Yeah, agreed, Sterling. I just don't have time to call that up right now. So here's the. No, I don't want Trump media, but there's the. Here's the Dow Jones Transportation Index. It has bounced the last couple days. It was looking for a break. I was watching for a breakdown, but with this bounce, that's why I'm also focused on a potential further continued rally. Again, it's also going into Trump's inauguration, which the markets. So whether you traded this double, you can see here, coming right back down. Now, if this starts getting to 16,900, I'll be watching. Unless it can close above there, I'm watching for another potential rollover play. But also remember, with these longer term things, we've been in. We got down to near oversold with some divergences, like on the daily with the S&P. We got to cycle bottoms on the daily. We had a triple divergence with 3 pushes lower, and now we're rallying back up. What's interesting is even if we invalidate this other double, now we may never trigger this other double, but we could be setting up for a massive double on a weekly time frame, which gives me then a really good long-term stop perspective at about this 5,800 level. So that's where I'm sitting today. We'll just peek in at the short-term stuff. So remember, yesterday's highs is 60.17. That's what I'm watching with any pullback, and I'll be paying attention to the 15-minute rotation zone going into the open with the pullback right around there. Doesn't have to, that's not a brick wall right here, but I don't want it to break below, retest, and roll over below 60.1750 from anything I do from a bullish side this morning. All right, with that, again, probably won't be here on Monday unless something big happens with the futures, and the futures close early, and there is no stock trading on Monday. So if I don't see you on Monday, then I will see everyone on Tuesday morning. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.